The first all-electric Lexus in our driving review, the UX300E, or UX-EV you could also say, with Thomas and Autogefühl. Let's go! So can they keep up with the competition with their first try? We're going to find out. Front here, very strong styling, as we know from recent Lexus model. Also cool with the daytime running light right here. LED standard, Matrix LED is an option, and also a nice Thomas blue here today. They also added an underbody cover for more wind efficiency for the EV version, and even stiffened up the whole chassis because of the increased weight by the battery. And we're also going to find out how this stiffer chassis will impact the driving feeling in our driving part today, and also how it differs then from the normal combustion engine or hybrid UX versions. 4 meters 50 or 177 inches is the length here, so a compact EV. We can see here this huge crossover arches, and here 18-inch wheels, they're an option. Usually it also comes with 17-inch aero wheels. They might be a better idea as for the comfort then. Here with a contrasting mirror cap in black to the blue color, and indeed quite a sporty styling, but indeed this crossover style which the UX has. Top speed, by the way, 160 kilometers an hour or 100 miles per hour. That's the official figure. Let's see which one we will score here today in the driving part. Because here in Germany, on our high-speed Autobahn test later on, we always do the real concise test and sometimes have different results. Look forward to that. Battery capacity here, by the way, 54 kilowatt hours. Let's see what range we're going to score there. Also more to that in our concise driving test later on. And the acceleration figure, 7.5 seconds to 1 kilometers or 62 miles an hour. That's faster than the combustion engine or hybrid variants of the UX. Here in the rear you can see looks a little bit bulky, especially with the big plastic cladding right here. 300E logo for the EV, and also the blue Lexus logo that fits here very well to the blue color. And here you can see these sculptural three-dimensional tail lamps. Okay, now something strange is coming up here. The right charging flap houses the AC. 6.6 kilowatt only AC charging. That's not enough by today's standard. Should be 11 or maybe even 22. Then on the other side, the DC charging, and that is only 50 kilowatt. And here, even with the CHAdeMO standard, so nah. Car key looks like this, pretty much standard. And let's see about the door closing sound. Solid. In the front here, there's soft touch at the inside of the doors, just in the front, though. In general, the build quality is really high. Steering wheel, as we know from Lexus, it's quite compact and thick in the grip. That's cool, and also still real buttons at the steering wheel like that. Seats here in animal skin, however, both in Germany and the UK, they do show in the configuration that you start with black or beige fabric or microfiber seats. That would of course make more sense. Seat ergonomics actually quite good, so feeling comfortably as a tall person, and with 1m86 or 6'1", there's also some headroom left. When I turn on the ignition here, the steering wheel comes down and towards me. This is one comfort feature, and from Toyota and Lexus and also Hyundai and Kia, something is always beeping, beep, beep, beep somewhere. Interior overview, really nice surface here, cool structure and also soft. 7 or optional 10-inch, not touchscreen, it's just a screen. Analog clock, and you control it here with a lower pad, and that's really super annoying. How can they still offer that? It's so complicated indeed, actually. Then cup holders here, adaptive in the front. We have also an inductive charging pad. The shifting lever is also with this step design. It's not just like backwards or forwards, also too complicated. Then you have a control unit right here, and then this console with 2 USB-A chargers and some more space. Close up here at the middle area. This is then the map, kind of old school. And here, this is a kind of mouse trackpad, and then it has this magnet function when you reach the functions, but it's really too much for me. I'm really getting angry when using this system, really, because it's so complicated. Some say it's okay, but this is the worst input I could imagine. Sound system wise, the Mark & Levinson sound system is really cool. Like that one. Good surround sound for this segment here. And this is the Apple CarPlay integration. At least you can control that one a little easier with this lower touchpad. And the rear view camera, it's the resolution. Yes, that's good here. Still manual climate unit, and also with a nice low frequency clicking feedback. that's actually quite cool. And below that you have more hotkeys, for example, for the heated steering wheel and the heated seats and so on. Here with the shifting pedals, you can do something with the recuperation, telling you more about it while driving. Instruments are kind of basic. They are digital, but the only thing that is changing here when you are in the driving modes, everything else stays rather consistent. And you also have electric range left. Head-up display, definitely helpful. And here that's where you pick the driving modes. Not too practical to reach it while driving though. And what will be super interesting is, well, one of the main factors to go for a Lexus is the reliability, where they usually score the highest places in all the rankings and are also better than the German competition. How will it be with the electric vehicles? Will they somehow lose their position there because electric vehicles in general are more reliable? Then again, electronically there can also be, some wrong things software-wise and so on. So can they maintain the position in that case? Maybe even build a bigger gap? Or will there be less of a gap? I think the latter will be the case because electric vehicles in general will be more reliable, they are less complex, and therefore it won't play such a factor in future anymore. Or what's your take on that? Rear seating area, write Lexus and UX directly together without the space, and then you know what the rear area is like. Need a second for that, right? Here you can see, I cannot fit here properly with, as a tall adult. It's just too close. Headroom also actually, that directly fits maybe, but hardly. And some middle console here as well. Seat heating. That's really something for kids only. Isofix here, and you fold the seats from here, and then there's also this middle area with non-adaptive cup holders. Trunk area has a length of about 80 centimeters or 31 inches, not too long though. The width here in this part is 1 meter or 40 inches, and it gets narrower than to this part here, hardly fits. And here total length to front seats about 1 meter 60 or 62 inches. Will it frunk or not? No, it won't. You can just see the electric motor here in all the parts. Welcome to Thomas's driving lounge with the Lexus UX 300e, the UX EV. We'll put it here to the sports mode for the German Autobahn, and we'll start at 40 kilometers an hour. There's no one behind us. Let's see that front-wheel drive version. 7.5 seconds is the acceleration figure from 0 to 100 kilometers or 62 miles an hour. Well, we can do from 30 kilometers an hour, maybe even more interesting. Let's go. .50. Let's see about the top speed. did you hear that sound? So, top speed 172 kilometers an hour. So yeah, that's enough. Wind noise are picking up. It's not too bad though. Stability here on the road is also good. Remember, they have stiffened up the chassis here for the EV version because of the increased weight. And you maybe also heard that when we were starting the acceleration, there was a little bit front wheel spin because it had so much power. And once again, in that sport mode, really interesting, that sound. Recuperation, by the way, either via the brake pedal or here shifting pedals. So in the sport mode, there's only full recuperation or none. But when you are in the normal mode here, then you can do it in 2 steps. Right pedal, then these steps back again. But the thing is, going on the brakes, throttle again. Well, and now, so it stays then just like for 2 seconds, and then it kind of resets itself. So yeah, it's just a thing when you're driving a hill for a longer period of time and then you set it, but nothing that you would do to have it like instantaneously running. That's a little bit disappointing, definitely. No ambient lighting here whatsoever. So not that interesting here in the tunnel, but a very good driving feeling. And again, stiff chassis, steering feel is good here. Compact steering wheel, thick grip, thick grip, yo. And it also reacts to my commands very well. Let's see, once again in the sport mode. It's not too different. So usually with the Lexus is that in the sport mode it gets a little bit stiffer, but here with this vehicle, can't feel any difference, to be honest. That seems to feel exactly the same. As for range or energy economy, average result like 22 kilowatt hours on 100 kilometers, so some 35 kilowatt hours on 100 miles, and that would mean a range, effective real-world range of about 250 kilometers or 150 miles. For a modern electric vehicle, I think that's not enough. No one would ever have bought a fuel vehicle with like a 20-liter gas tank or something. No one would ever do that. Yes, as a secondary vehicle, if you have like a Lexus RX at home for the family, and then you buy this one for short city trips or something, that could make sense, but as long as it goes for longer range, doesn't make too much sense. The greatest thing about this vehicle is indeed the driving fun. It feels really connected to the road. Now let's accelerate one more time when we're already at speed at 90 kilometers an hour. Let's go. That sound though, a little bit like Back to the Future, you know. Now there's this, you know, this long-term bend. Yeah, it feels really settled on the ground. It's not too loud at these high speeds, so that's actually quite good. The suspension is rather stiff. 18-inch wheels mounted. If you want more comfort, you would stick with the 17-inch wheels. Yeah, when the road gets rough, and we'll soon also have another rough road test, then it can get rather uncomfortable. So, yeah, sometimes I think that the suspension is maybe too stiff. Might be better than with the 17-inch wheels. Let's also compare the driving modes. About the sound, of course, you can hear that I'm better when I'm a little bit slower. So when I'm here in the sport mode, let's listen again. So go to the normal mode once again. Let's see. And now, yeah, that's the difference, you know. Normal mode is like nothing special, and then sport mode once again. Almost when you like separate a turbocharger or something and just play back this sound or something. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, if that's really necessary. We had a lot of discussion about like at BMW these sounds they created with Hans Zimmer, or recently in the Mercedes EQS AMG, where they had it really like Star Trek Engage, and was like. It is fun always to show off to your friends from time to time, or like the first time saying, hey guys, got this new vehicle, listen to that feature. And after that you think like, okay, let's put it out. And the same thing I think applies here. I'm not sure if we can actually turn it off. Haven't found, it seems to be just related to the driving mode right there. So definitely more fun than any other of the UX versions, and also than other Lexus vehicles from the sporty driving fun here. So that's the thing about this vehicle here, that it's so much fun in the driving experience. Other than that, I mean, no touchscreen, complicated control here with that touchpad, slow charging, both AC and DC, wrong charging port with the CHAdeMO. Range is not enough. So if you pick it as a secondary vehicle to your RX or ES at home as a secondary smaller city vehicle, that's the purpose, and you want to stick to the Lexus brand, okay. And we all know about the great reliability of Lexus. That's the thing, you know, what this car is then made for. We haven't any experience with electric vehicles, but I suppose because electric vehicles are in general more reliable and less things can go wrong, that should also work out fine. But from all the other factors, and also animal-free seats are just in the base versions, and then the whole car is not animal-free, so the offerings there are also not sufficient. So a lot of checklist factors of modern EVs are not fulfilled with this vehicle, and that's why it will be better either to go for the Kia EV6 or here our big EV comparison with the other competitors, where we also found, for example, Tesla Model Y and Ford Mustang Mach-E, which just offer a better package, because this one here will not be cheap at all. So once again, secondary Lexus, stay with the brand vehicle, okay. Other than that, the other recommendations will be better for you. What do you think?